Sato Company.
Since the dawn of history, mankind has been trying to solve the mysteries of the human body.
This is van Leeuwenhoek's microscope. It was made around 1700. In order to use it, you place the specimen on the pin over here, and you hold this in front of your eye.
This microscope is 300 years old. With a glass lens set in a tiny hole, it can magnify objects up to 266 times. This microscope enabled scientists to observe sperm and red blood cells for the first time. By unveiling the mysteries of the human body, people have continuously tried to make their dream of a longer, healthier life a reality. In our modern era, cutting-edge science has revealed a completely new perspective of the human body and the remarkable gigantic network that stretches all across it. Astonishingly, the organs in our bodies are directly exchanging information to control our health and well-being. And playing a key role are messaging molecules released by our organs. The power of these messaging molecules is now about to significantly change the treatment of numerous serious illnesses. Including one of mankind's most persistent enemies, cancer. The mechanism of its growth remains largely unknown, and a cure has yet to be found. Scientists have recently learned that cancer itself releases messaging molecules as it grows. But now, the latest research is starting to take advantage of those very messages in order to suppress the growth and spread of cancer.
今度は我々が逆襲する番ですね、がん細胞に対して。
Another major adversary is heart disease, which can attack without warning. Regenerating the heart was once considered impossible, but it's about to become a reality through the use of messaging molecules.
It's going to be really nothing short of a revolutionary development in therapeutics.
A new front has opened in the age-old battle to overcome disease and increase our longevity. The quest to unveil the mysteries of the human body may have a profound effect on all our futures.
What does it take to live a full and healthy life? A vast information network exists within the human body, where our organs constantly exchange information with one another. Now, let's listen in to the conversations that sustain our lives.
Cancer is a long-standing enemy of our species. This patient has been battling cancer, which has been very difficult to control. Eiichi Murakushi is a former newspaper correspondent. In retirement, he continues to write books and magazine articles. When Murakushi was 54, he was diagnosed with stomach cancer. Part of his stomach was removed, and he was supposedly cured. However, the cancer spread to his esophagus, throat, tongue, and elsewhere, as if it had taken control of his entire body. After each recurrence, he underwent surgery and radiation treatment. However, the cancer continued to spread, reappearing 13 times in the last 14 years.
Each年に何回もがんができればね、俺は穏やかじゃないですよ。あんな思いは二度としたくないように、病院に二度と行きたくないというね、もうそう思ってても行かざるを得ない。
The mechanism that causes cancer cells to repeatedly grow and spread has long been a mystery. However, pioneering research is gradually revealing what cancer actually is. This is a 3D image of a cancer cell. It's approximately 1/100th of a millimeter across. Cancer cells are able to pass between proteins and move freely throughout our body. And they can engage in some rather dirty tricks. Here's one of them. These are capillaries on the surface of a breast, spreading out like a net. And the highlighted area is where the cancer cells are. Blood vessels surround the cancer cells in a curious pattern. Surprisingly, the cancer cells are drawing the blood vessels toward them. Cancer cells are trying to extract oxygen and nutrition from blood in order to grow. They can even tame our immune cells, which should normally be their mortal enemies. Immune cells are supposed to attack cancer cells. Here, an immune cell shown in green is capturing and attacking a cancer cell shown in purple. However, if the cancer cell sends a certain message to the immune cell, it calls off the attack and allows the cancer cell to grow. Researchers have discovered that cancer cells in fact use the human body's gigantic network to pull off this deadly trick. They've learned that cancer cells release unexpected messaging molecules. Assistant Professor Pechtel is a cancer researcher in the Netherlands.
So what you're about to see here is one single living cancer cell. Yeah. So this is one cancer cell, and this is the first time that we have been able to image the release of exosomes from one single cell. And if you close look here, you can see these small flashes.
white lights flash on the surface of a cancer cell. Messaging molecules are hidden in this spark. If we magnify the substance, we can see something round and bumpy. It is only 1/10,000th of a millimeter across, a capsule that holds a variety of messages. It's called an exosome. It's been discovered that cancer cells use a variety of messaging molecules inside these exosomes so that they can take control of their surrounding cells.
There's a lot of questions we don't know, but I think in the upcoming years we will see that tissues that we never thought would be communicating with each other in this type of way.
What is the role of exosomes released by cancer cells? Takahiro Ochiya of Japan's National Cancer Center is a world leader in exosome research. Ochiya discovered that cancer cells make use of exosomes in order to grow.
実はがん細胞が積極的にあるメッセージをエクソソームの中に閉じ込めて分泌する。がん細胞自身が患者さんの体の中で生き延びる手段として分泌している、そういったことが分かってきたんですね。
We've learned that cancer cells lure blood vessels toward them. Capsules containing messages are released from a cancer cell, then head to the blood vessels. The capsule arrives inside the blood vessel wall, and its message emerges. We need more food. Researchers believe that cells that make new blood vessels are fooled by these messages and therefore grow toward the cancer cell. And they've discovered that cancer cells are also capable of sending exosomes to our immune cells. So now their message is, stop attacking. The immune cells receive this message and stand down. Normally, these exchanges of messaging molecules amongst our organs is vital in protecting us against disease and maintaining our well-being. But cancer cells have worked out how this important network operates and use it to their advantage. They hijack our body's internal network and continue to grow. And at times, cancer cells can do something even deadlier. They can metastasize and spread to other organs. The results can be catastrophic. It's become clearer that cancer can also manipulate messaging molecules in order to spread. In patients with ovarian cancer, the disease can spread to the peritoneum, which covers and protects the surface of our organs. Once cancer reaches the peritoneum, it can advance even further, and treatment becomes more difficult.
これが腹膜播種ですね。がん細胞が種をまくように転移するんで播種っていうふうに、症状もなく、卵巣がんは恐ろしい、怖いがんの一つだと思います。
The mechanism used by ovarian cancer to spread to the peritoneum was once shrouded in mystery. That's because the surface of the peritoneum is completely covered with projections which act as barriers to keep foreign substances, such as cancer cells, from invading. So how do cancer cells manage to get through? Here's Ochia's theory. This is the surface of an ovary. The ovarian cancer is shown in purple. A large number of exosomes are being released from the ovarian cancer cells. The exosomes are heading to the peritoneum. A multitude of projections stand ready to prevent invasion by foreign substances. But the exosomes pass between them and reach the surface of the peritoneum with ease. The exosomes are made of the same components as the cells on the surface. So the peritoneum mistakenly assumes the exosomes aren't enemies and allows them in. From inside the exosome, a certain message emerges. Your work is done. At this point, the projections on the surface of the peritoneum start to die off. Once this happens a number of times, large crater-like holes are created on the surface of the peritoneum. Then ovarian cancer cells, the senders of the message, begin to arrive. They enter the peritoneum and continue to grow unimpeded.
The がん細胞はエクソソームを自分の分身として、また自分の武器として相手の細胞を自在にコントロールする。つまり体のあらゆるバリア機能を破壊する、破綻させる、この機能がエクソソームにあったということになります。
Exosomes are not like other messaging molecules. They are sometimes called the ultimate messaging molecule. A regular messaging molecule is released from one specific organ to another. However, exosomes are released from all the organs in our body, including cancer cells. In addition, the messages contained in exosomes vary depending on the situation. Exosomes are usually an important defender of our health. Let's look at their role in bone marrow, where blood is created. Bone marrow contains cells which generate blood components, such as red blood cells and platelets. A cell here has just released some exosomes. And the message they contain is, Stand by. This is a potentially life-saving directive. When cells that make our blood receive this message, they stop production. In preparation for emergencies such as sudden bleeding due to injuries and trauma, the cells are kept in reserve. Mother's milk also contains exosomes. They include messaging molecules that affect immune function, which is believed to have an impact on infant immune development. Furthermore, researchers have found that exosomes are related to skin pigmentation too. This discovery was made in Paris. It was in these laboratories of a major cosmetics company. When skin is exposed to ultraviolet rays, the cells inside insert a message into the exosomes. Protect the skin. The surrounding cells receive this message, and a large amount of melanin is released. Melanin protects the skin from ultraviolet rays, but too much melanin causes freckles and hyperpigmentation.
This demonstration is very important to show the complexity of our bodies. Their various communication and regulation pathways are really dedicated to a very savvy adaptation to our environment.
The company has developed products that can control the release of melanin by manipulating exosomes and continues its research. Approximately 100 trillion exosomes are said to flow throughout our bodies. They're about to shed new light onto the mysteries of human health. How can we win the battle against cancer? Japan's National Cancer Center is investigating messaging molecules released by cancer cell lines.
およそ100種類以上のがん細胞の細胞株があります。
Cancer patients hope such research will lead to a cure. Eiichi Murakushi has endured 13 bouts of cancer and often undergoes grueling treatments. He has a checkup every other month. He still holds out hope that a major breakthrough will turn his life around. Murakushi is taking an active role in the search for answers. He's donating his blood to a research project. This vault safeguards the blood of 56,000 cancer patients.
乳がんだったり胃がんだったり、がん種はいろいろあるんですけれども。
It's being used to study the messaging molecules carried by cancer cells. Researchers hope that this will lead to new types of medicine.
早く解放されたい。早くこの病気からね、解放されたいと。もう願うだけですね。
What might a new cancer treatment strategy look like? One study is attracting worldwide attention. Researchers in Denmark are working to unleash our hidden ability to fight off cancer. The key is messaging molecules released from muscle. Over the past few years, a series of messaging molecules from muscle have been discovered along with new muscle functions, including one that improves depressive behavior, and another that helps improve memory. Messaging molecules released from muscle might also help fight cancer. This message says, "Intruder alert." So how could that help? It can help by activating immune cells that attack cancer cells. Mice with lung cancer were made to exercise in order to encourage the release of messaging molecules. The lungs of the mice that did not exercise have darkened areas that indicate the cancer has spread. But look at the lungs of the mice that did exercise. The growth of the cancer was reduced by 2/3. It's not yet known whether the same results could be achieved in humans. A trial involving prostate cancer patients is underway. Researchers want to determine how much exercise, and what kind, could trigger their ability to fight off cancer.
Based on the evidence, I am very convinced that exercise does not just decrease our risk for disease, but that it is part of the treatment. You could even say that exercise is a drug that should be prescribed for many patients with cancer.
In Japan as well, a report by Ochiya and his team has taken researchers by surprise. This innovative strategy involves striking back against the exosomes released by cancer cells to prevent the disease from spreading. Ochiya came up with the idea of attaching markers to these small exosomes.
This is theがん細胞のメッセージ物質であるエクソソームに目印をつける抗体です。
They help identify the enemy. If these markers find exosomes which are released from cancer cells, they latch onto them. Then, immune cells can recognize the exosomes as enemies and start to devour the invaders. This method achieved remarkable results in an experiment using mice. Cross-sections of the lungs reveal that in the mouse which did not receive markers, the cancer cells spread to the area of the lung, seen here in red. However, in the mouse that got the markers, the spread of cancer was barely visible. And there was a 90% drop in the amount of cancer cells.
武器であるエクソソームの能力を奪うことによって、まさにこれから我々ががん細胞に逆襲をする、そういったステージになってきました。
Other cancer treatment research focuses on a certain characteristic of exosomes. This idyllic ranch is in Kentucky in the U.S. The herds here produce high-quality milk. The milk is delivered to a lab in a university. What are they going to do with it?
Hello everyone. The new discovery suggests milk contains many tiny particles called exosomes. Do you know how many exosomes are present in this glass of milk? Hundreds of billions. Go milk exosomes.
Actually, exosomes are found not only in human milk, but also in cow's milk. Ramesh Gupta of the University of Louisville is interested in the capsule-like property of exosomes. He is proposing to place cancer-fighting medicine in these capsules and introduce them into the body.
This is dried exosomes derived from milk. But if you suspend this in water or buffer, it will suspend nicely.
Exosomes are easily absorbed by the body. So Gupta believes this approach to drug delivery will be more efficient than conventional methods.
Mother Nature has provided this as a source to take a payload from one tissue to another and so on. Why don't we take advantage of this situation?
One day, milk could become an important component of cancer medication. But cancer isn't the only major threat to our health. Heart disease is another deadly foe. It claims the lives of more than 8 million people each year. It's the #1 cause of death worldwide. The most common form is cardiac infarction. This frightening disease attacks without warning. It can kill heart muscle cells immediately. Even if you survive, your heart may never be the same again. Researchers are looking into ways to treat heart disease using the power of messaging molecules. A renowned authority on heart research, Eduardo Marban, has taken up the challenge. The heart is difficult to treat due to a rather unique and troublesome characteristic. Many organs continue working as old cells are replaced by new ones. However, that process occurs very slowly in the heart. It's believed that only 30% of its cells are replaced over 50 years. So once the heart is damaged, it takes a long time for recovery to take place. How can new heart cells be generated? Small amounts of cell-generating messaging molecules have been found hidden within the heart.
In this dish are pieces of tissue which have cells that are growing out from the tissue, and from that we will make the exosomes.
And once again, exosomes play a key role. They contain a message that can rebuild the heart. Let's make more and more cells. But the amount of messaging molecules is so small that regeneration is a very slow process. However, if the damaged heart receives an infusion of artificially created messaging molecules, this process could be speeded up. When Marban gave the messaging molecules to mice that had experienced cardiac infarction, the results were dramatic. This is the wall of the heart after cardiac infarction. The cells on the right side have died, and the wall has become thin. But in mice that received these additional messaging molecules, the number of cells had increased, and the wall had become thicker. Marban is aiming to launch human trials within a year.
Exosomes and their biology have sparked a revolution in our understanding of how things work inside our bodies. If we can take the right ones from a defined therapeutic source, they might be very powerful agents in the treatment of disease in a way that defies all the conventions.
Exosomes could soon be used to treat illnesses such as heart disease and cancer. Why are exosomes so powerful? The secret lies inside. The revolutionary discovery was made by a Swedish scientist.
Hello, Dr. Rothball.
Hello, thank you so much.
This is Jan Lotval. Lotval is an expert on asthma and has studied the causes of this disease. And during the course of his research, he became interested in the link between asthma and exosomes. Researchers had once compared exosomes with garbage cans that are released from the cells, since they seem to contain nothing but cell waste. But Lothval conducted more detailed analysis and found they contained something else.
So this is what an exosome looks like. And inside of the exosomes, we have many microRNAs. And these microRNAs was what we discovered in our 2007 study.
MicroRNA? It sounds complicated. Genes are like blueprints for our bodies. They're carefully stored inside our cells. MicroRNA is shaped like a gene fragment and regulates the activity of genes. It's now understood that microRNA is encased in exosomes and then emerges from cells. MicroRNA is also contained in exosomes that are released from cancer cells, which lure blood vessels toward the cancer cells. MicroRNA is contained in exosomes that generate heart cells too. It also has the remarkable ability to act directly on the genes of recipient cells and alter their activation.
That sort of really changed the way we're thinking about cell-to-cell communication, and that the RNA molecules and the microRNA molecules inside of the exosomes can have fundamental effects on the recipient cells. They're really opening up a new way of thinking about biology, and I think they're exceptionally exciting.
At one time, exosomes were thought to be the body's garbage cans. However, Lothval's research has shown that they should actually be considered treasure chests. It has become the focal point of cutting-edge research all around the globe. The human body is a remarkable, gigantic network. By zeroing in on the vast information network inside our bodies, scientists have revealed a series of unexpected relationships between our organs and life-threatening disease. Kidneys form urine. Abnormalities in the messages sent from our kidneys cause high blood pressure. A new treatment for high blood pressure involves operating on the kidneys. The gut, once considered simply as an organ of digestion and absorption, is actually a key to the development of allergies. Recently, it was discovered that the gut and gut bacteria use exosomes to interact with one another. Better understanding of these messaging molecules could one day lead to controlling abnormalities in the immune system.
The bacterial vesicles are indeed producing something that can modulate the gene expression and also the functioning of the human cells. And so in all that cases where you have some intestinal diseases, you may have a restoring of these conditions.
Listening in to the messages sent out from our organs is considered to be the key to curing challenging diseases.
3, 2, 1, Main engines up and running and liftoff of the Falcon 9 to the space station.
The human quest for a long and healthy life knows no bounds. In the International Space Station, which orbits our planet at an altitude of 400 kilometers, scientists have been analyzing bone tissue. Our bones are a virtual fountain of youth. And when they're stimulated through exercise, they release messaging molecules. Our immunity, muscle strength, and memory all improve. By controlling the impact to bones in a zero-gravity environment, scientists are trying to figure out the mechanism behind the creation of messaging molecules. Furthermore, a startup in New York has been working on anti-aging research using messaging molecules from bones. Osteoblasts release messaging molecules that keep us young. This company is planning to create new bone from osteoblasts in order to prolong youth.
Our bodies have this astonishing capacity to repair, and to the extent that we foster those processes, it's I think we have a better chance of living a longer, healthy life. The point where we now sit is that evolution of the human species is happening in real time.
What does it take to live a full and healthy life? It's a question as old as humankind. The answer may lie within our vast internal information network. Each one of us started out as one tiny fertilized egg. Messaging molecules shaped us in our mother's womb. And until we take our last breath, these messaging molecules will continue to support our bodies.
新しいことを挑戦する。で、従来の殻を破る。で、それがやっぱりサイエンスなんですね。何かその先にもっと我々の人生を、いわゆる幸福にしてくれる新しい何かがあるんだろう。人体の可能性をぜひ信じて、それに挑戦していきたいと思っています。
It's not going to end. That's the beauty of it, right? I really believe that this is the future of the beginning of the future. I hope you will be scientists and join us exosome scientists to develop the future of medication, for example.
The lively conversations of our organs continuously keep us healthy and strong. You might not be able to hear them, but they're all protecting you every hour of every day.